DEI was on complete, full display when one of the security detail was caught failing to holster her weapon. Look at the purposeful nature of the men right there who are getting him in the car. Speaks, goes around the rear. Who would you want protecting you? I won't go any further than that. Now, this brings us to the security situation. And there has been a lot of speculation, and this is where I've seen the most misinformation. And like I said, there is not a moral equivalency between the left and the right on the hatred and the labeling of political opponents. The one place I see it is in clickbait. And I think we need to do better. I see it in headlines and unsubstantiated reports. And that's why we wanted to wait a little bit. Release a reaction is what I did when it happened. There was nothing more than my personal opinion and feelings, but wanted to wait until the information came in. There's a lot that we don't know, but there are some things that we do know. So if you feel as though you leave wanting because you're yearning for a theory that I can't validate, I'm not going to be doing that today. So here we have a video as it relates to the Secret Service eliminating the actual target, the shooter.
And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Now, there have been some reports that have been released out there, and just to be clear, we've tried to track them, and some of them are flat out fake. For example, people posting that I'm in the Secret Service. I tried to shoot the man on the roof, but it took me 3 minutes to get confirmation. That's not confirmed. That's likely someone who's just a LARPer. There are a lot of theories out there and a lot of information that is factually incorrect, but there are a lot of questions. Why did it take so long for the Secret Service to act? How did that shooter get on the roof in the first place? Why did no one do anything when the crowd of people were telling security for minutes that there was a man there, that he could shoot somebody, that it was suspicious? These things we know. Let me read this to you according to Susan Crabtree at Real Clear Politics. She says, the Secret Service protocol requires that any counter sniper aware of a potential shooter must radio directly to the intelligence division team to respond and investigate. In this case, the investigation may have been cut short by the shooter firing his weapon, so the counter sniper then fired as quickly as possible in return. Okay. Here, a senior Secret Service member told NBC that the man who was on that rooftop, they already knew about it.
A senior Secret Service source familiar with the planning of yesterday's event tells NBC News that the roof where the shooter was located was a well-known, high-priority vulnerability. It was identified just the day before during a security walkthrough. We've also just learned that there were 2 counter-sniper teams on site and that the counter-sniper did not need approval to shoot. One source telling NBC News that prior protocols were not followed.
Okay, so it's hard to make sense of that, isn't it? It's almost like that's by design sometimes. Now, the reason this is important, I'm going to get to this in a second, with these next 2 clips I'm going to show you, is understanding that the Secret Service is directly under supervision, the authority of the DHS, former Vice President Joe Biden. By proxy, Mayorkas. Okay? I know I'm pulling a Jesse Ventura and saying, I'm just asking questions. But at this point, these are genuine questions because we don't have the answer. We do know that Secret Service answers to DHS. They also tried to strip Donald Trump of Secret Service protection in April. I'll get to that. But hopefully that provides some context as you watch this. There were many eyewitnesses who claimed, and then we'll be able to substantiate it, that they reported this threat on the roof 150 meters away prior to the shooting.
So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof, we can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling.
As Trump started, I noticed two officers that were looking for something or somebody. I was looking around myself and seeing a guy on top of one of the buildings go in between one building to the next, and went and told the officer that he was up there. And when I went back to my spot, I heard that people could still see the person from where they were standing. So I checked that out, and I went back to tell the officer that if he came over there, he could see them.
I know some of you are going to say, well, those could just be people seeking fame, Monday morning quarterbacking it, after the fact. The guy looks like Heat Miser. Okay, be that as it may, and it may. We also have footage that would suggest that's true. It's not that these individuals are there, but there were many other people. There's a crowd of people noticing and pointing out the shooter and his rifle in real time.
If we were doing the job, I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be at some beautiful places, the gorgeous ocean, the Mediterranean.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. You see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And son, I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a Senate.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look. There he is.
Easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
Right on the roof.
It's much tougher than it happens.
You went right on the roof again.
What I am not going to do is veer into the territory of conspiracy theories or saying that it's a setup or acting as though I am an expert and pointing out what would appear to be incompetence. What I can say is that this clearly could have been avoided. Is that unreasonable? Comment below. It seems to me that this clearly could have been handled better. And I'm going to get to the DEI component because it is a component and people are less safe when we implement DEI no matter what it is. So again, Marley was dead to begin with. Secret Service directly under Joe Biden in the DHS. There have been reports that there are requests for beefed up security out there. That has not been confirmed. We have not been able to confirm it. I don't want to bring you misinformation. But I can tell you that in April of this year, Democrat Benny Thompson introduced legislation designed to take the Secret Service, their protection, away from President Trump if he was convicted, which they, of course, knew was going to happen all along. Make up a crime, convict him, take away his protection.
The Washington Post headline screams, if Trump is convicted, Secret Service protection may be obstacle to imprisonment. I thank you for your legislation. I have been saying for some time that any former president or federal official who has this type of protection and some of the other benefits of being a former member of office, all of that should go away. All of it, all the privileges, all the briefings, all the access should go away until your status is cleared up in the criminal justice system.
Ah, there you go. Hey, why would the most controversial president of the United States need Secret Service? Nah, let's convict him for, what's the crime? Tax? Something? Stormy Daniels? I don't know. No more security detail. And as we relate to this, it's sort of this merging of different problems. So DEI was on complete, full display when one of the security detail was caught failing to holster her weapon. Look at the purposeful nature of the men right there who are getting him in the car. Speaks, goes around the rear, not able to holster the weapon. One man gets in the car, other man closes the door, walks around to the front. These people here looking around, panicking. Who would you want protecting you? I won't go any further than that, but no surprise here that Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle is a big proponent of DEI.
To expand hiring, they're aiming to have 30% women recruits by 2030, and even allowed YouTube influencer Michelle Carre to train with agents.
But I'm very conscious, as I sit in this chair now, of making sure that we need to attract diverse candidates and ensure that we are developing and giving opportunities to everybody in our workforce, and particularly women.
Why? So, that's it. Why? Comment below. Why? Anyone out there an advocate? DEI? Need more women in secret? Why? And keep in mind that the Secret Service has been under investigation by House GOP members for a long time now. I don't know if you know the reason why. It started when one of Kamala Harris's Secret Service members suffered a mental breakdown. This comes from Real Clear Politics. James Comer referred in the letter to an incident in late April in which a female Secret Service agent tasked with protecting Harris was removed from her duties after suffering from an apparent mental lapse and physically attacking the commanding agent in charge and other agents trying to subdue her. Well, at least she had tits. It's not about the woman. It's not about being a black guy or being a trans person. It's about the fact that the only criteria that matters is not the only criteria being used. That's it. That's it. How capable are you at eliminating threats, at killing bad guys? How capable are you at protecting your client, your subject? Good guys. Now let's run them through some tests. That's it.
Watch Louder with Crowder live Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.